Hello, and welcome to Empowerment Radio, the podcast for empowerment coaching. I'm Adrienne Elise. The title of today's podcast is called Light and Dark. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about these concepts. We live in a duality consciousness. The mechanisms of our world scientifically have to do with polarity. We are either a male or a female. You can see just kind of like the poles of a battery, the male and the female, the positive and negative is what makes our world go round. And you can see this in like the traditional symbol of the yin-yang, the Zen symbol, where there's the light and the darkness, and they're chasing each other. And we've got the male elements in, say, astrology of the fire and air, and we've got the female elements of water and earth. And this is what our world is made up of. But the thing that I want to talk about today is a belief system structure that has been programmed into our reality that is completely false. And this belief system has to do with the fact that many souls, indigo souls and star seeds who have come in with a higher spiritual consciousness in this human evolution, have been targeted. There's lots of control energies and mechanisms that have been in place to suppress the spiritual evolution of humanity. And so whatever the bigger picture is of this story, eventually our spiritual evolution happens. and we're at that place. And what we're coming up against, I'm finding again and again in my personal sessions, programming in the DNA and belief systems, in the ancestry and just our human conditioning in general, that you cannot have light without darkness. Now, on some level, that's true when you're talking about yin and yang and the elements and the seasons and the way things go. But when you're talking about the personal light, heart light of the soul, that is the key essence of spiritual evolution, more light does not bring darkness. So I've come across again and again these belief systems that have been put into place, programming that has to do with past lives where these souls were targeted for their light. Now, what is light? Let's just talk about this definition in the way that I am describing light. And what this looks like is souls that have come to the planet who want to bring goodness to humanity. They want to help people be released from suffering. They want to expand through innovation and intellectual problem solving the culture so that we can take better care of each other, so that we can live in a world that feels cared for, feels loved, and that everybody has what they need. So throughout time, starseeds often come in, and indigo souls come in incarnations where their deep desire in their heart and soul is to bring this love, help, support for humanity to evolve in its spiritual evolution in a harmonious way. And the programming that we're kind of coming up against here says that if you bring lightness, if you bring light, if you bring innovation, spiritual evolution to planet Earth, then you're also going to bring darkness. So in my further explorations deeper into this concept, I just really wanted to bring to light these stories that are coming through. So some people have lifetimes where, say they came in and they were a healer. And maybe they were a woman who was a wise woman through generations and knew about herbs that could help with the pain of childbirth and help babies be delivered, and maybe contraceptive herbs. Let's just use this as an example. Now, this person is a threat to the control energies on the planet. This person, these people called witches, heretics, whatever you want to call it, people who want to help people out of suffering, that is a threat to the control mechanism establishment on the planet. And the thing about this is, when you really look at it, it's like, why is it a threat? Why is bringing goodness and love and care and humanity to humans, where's the negative in that? What's the bad thing here? And the thing is that actually light, bringing light to the planet actually doesn't bring darkness. It brings more light. It's contagious. So these souls have been watched and targeted throughout pretty much almost all of their lifetimes in human evolution. Of course, these starseeds and indigos have lots of lifetimes and all kinds of evolutions and all kinds of experiences. But on Earth, typically what I'll find with starseeds and indigos is one lifetime where they were fully able to actualize their light and bring their gifts. And then the programming started. And lifetime after lifetime, targeted, stuck in this karmic cycle that's all based on this belief system that if you're going to bring light to planet Earth, then you're going to bring darkness. But that's actually this paradigm of control mechanism that comes through the institutions, the religions, and the belief systems of some sort of punishing God out there. And so these indigos and starseeds with this beautiful, pure light that they want to bring to the planet feel shameful about this light. They've been targeted, set up, and programmed to feel like this care, compassion, empathy, desire to help is something bad, something dangerous even. And it is dangerous. It's dangerous to the powers that be. And so I just really wanted to get this message out there and look at this truth. So I want you to just imagine yourself in your light, feeling in an open-hearted place, feeling in heart frequency resonance, feeling love in your heart and compassion. And I want to imagine you walking into a room of other people. And I want you to see that love and compassion and heart-centered way of being is contagious. And it makes everyone in the room, no matter where they're at, feel better. Feel more trust, feel more faith, feel more open to that loving compassion themselves. So it's really important and kind of a core base energy around this spiritual evolution where we're at right now to release these belief systems around lifetimes where, going back to the herbalist, taking, helping people have easing childbirth. And the paradigm is that the female needs to suffer. This is labor. Not only do they need to suffer with that one child they'd love to have, or 2 or 3 children, but then they need to be denied the herbs that could help them control their conception. And then they just have children until they die, until it kills them. And so the energy of someone who's coming to the planet to bring this light, to bring this love, to bring healing, to bring compassion, then persecuted, targeted and persecuted, set up. A lot of times these people were set up, and the way that the persecution could occur is that people were convinced that this person, there was like kind of a mob mentality, fear-based control mechanism that this person is something to be feared. Well, if you have healing powers, then you have killing powers. And I'm going to tell you, the indigo souls and starseeds coming with their pure light to planet Earth do not have killing powers. There is not a part of them that wants to cause. They are here specifically on a mission of nonviolence and compassion. So what happens when these souls get set up and targeted and told that their love, their light, their compassion and empathy is somehow harmful to other people? So a lot of indigo souls are walking around with this deep subconscious shame about who they are, when who they are is pure light, what the planet needs more than anything right now. But I'll tell you what, that's a good way to keep control of the people, by keeping the lights of this world feeling shameful and guilty and dark inside. So yeah, the light brings the darkness in that instance with this targeting, manipulating, and set up energy over many lifetimes. So what happens is that when a trauma occurs in a past life, or a lifetime in general, it lets the guard down of the soul spirit. And the soul spirit is then susceptible to programming. So that's where these DNA programs come in. And so the program here that I continually find is some sort of version of this. It's like my light, my desire to help humanity, my love, my healing power, my compassion is going to create violence. So maybe a scenario is like, you have a trusted healer in the community, one of the most important people. They are loved, they are cared for. And then people, if they're persecuted, sometimes the people will rise up against those powers. And guess what? Those people then are also persecuted and killed. So don't have a following, don't help people, don't bring your light and compassion, because there's going to be a revolution. There's going to be a war. There's going to be a catastrophe. Going back to Atlantis and Lemuria, story after story, that bringing in more light to planet Earth, spiritual ascension, and human evolution, this is a big program here, is going to cause catastrophe. Well, I've seen again and again, the Atlantean catastrophe was a total setup. It was off-planet laser-type looking weapons that caused that catastrophe. But the light workers were framed to think that they caused it. So we're all at the edge of this awakening process with this deep subconscious fear that the world is going to blow up. If we bring a little more light, if we break through that threshold of light. Now, this is a story that's gone on through many evolutions, way before we were even on the planet Earth, around spiritual initiation. And that if you do it wrong, or you go too far too fast, you're going to cause harm. And this is where these programs come from. It's ancient stories that are complete and total BS. And it's an exciting time on the planet as indigos and starseeds begin this revolution of light and step through that threshold of control and understand that pure light has no shadow. It takes one single candle to light a dark room, and many other multitudes infinitely many other candles can be lit from that candle. That's the real problem. Light, ascension, the part of the energy I've seen around like the witch hunt, the heretics, that kind of thing that went on, these people were spiritual beings about activating in their field. And the thing is, like, when you activate in your field and you really hook up in your energetic field and understand that you have this energetic connection to the universe, you are your own universe, you are your own electromagnetic field, you are just so much more than a physical body. When you go through this type of activation of your light body, it's contagious. The people around you start to activate. This is why the witches were burned. This is why the heretics were persecuted and targeted. It has nothing to do with religious beliefs. Although religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs that are about caring for people, the true Christian principles, bringing compassion, caring for people, that would be definitely seen as a threat and dangerous to the power and control mechanisms on the planet. So this is a big lie. And so what do we do about it? Go ahead and just take a few deep breaths and feel yourself arrive here in this now moment, paying attention to the base of your spine. A lot of times our root chakra that's there at the base of the spine, it really gets overactivated and stimulated and kind of thrown out of whack as we talk about these things, as we talk about these lifetimes where we were targeted for our light. We're coming in as pure, perhaps spiritually naive souls into this kind of incredibly dualistic reality. Oh yeah, I can't wait to go to Earth and help out humanity and be a part of this awesome shift. and then started a war or a revolution. Often indigo souls come in as leaders, but they're spiritually naive, because Earth is kind of one of these places where it's hard to find more duality. It's hard to find more evil. It's kind of like quick and fast evolutionary growth. And so that spiritual naivety coming in as pure astral bodies, coming in and trying to bring this light to the people through leadership. These people were heavily manipulated and targeted. And often that's where you'll find these types of contracts, belief systems, and DNA programs that who you are in your light and your desire to help humanity evolve in a spiritual, peaceful way through helping people and bringing harmony, bringing abundance. Oftentimes, these leaders had innovative ways of seeing things and were creating situations that would create abundance for their communities. And as soon as you do that, the neighbors want that abundance, and they want that chakra of the planet that you're working with, and they want that power, and they want that energy, and they're going to come and they're going to take it. So this is where these programs come from, that bringing light to planet Earth is going to create violence. And so the DNA program, a lot of times that I find in the indigos specifically, has to do with like who you are in your light and your truth of who you are is violence. Now, what happens is that it's completely false. And it's so false that these indigo souls, particularly involved in the Atlantean catastrophe, feeling responsible for that downfall on planet Earth, this creates a deep subconscious guilt and shame in the indigo souls, and it keeps them from finding each other. It keeps them from actualizing. It keeps them hiding and in complete denial about who they are in their compassionate light. So this is a deeply painful place. And what happens is that because in the true essence of the soul spirit of the indigo soul and the star seeds is nonviolence. I mean, that's like the definition of who they are and why they came to planet Earth. And yet they're programmed to think that their light and who they are, the truth of who they are, and fully embodying that is going to create violence. So what happens? That violence is turned within. And these are deep subconscious programs. It's so hard to find it in your everyday reality, but they will pop through. And what happens is this violence goes internal. And a lot of times this ends up in a situation of like autoimmune disease in the physical body. These indigo souls are so trying to reconcile this violence that is so, they feel guilty for, they feel responsible for violence on the planet and for the struggle of humanity and for the pain. And so they're trying to work this karma out through their physical body because they and their soul spirit are nonviolent, but that violence has gone within and the body is fighting itself. And so a lot of these indigo souls really struggling with this are debilitated in life. There's, the symptoms of these autoimmune disorders are often, I come across a lot around this, is fatigue and food sensitivities. And it's just like life is really a lot harder. Because you have to go the long way around. And everything's kind of really hard. And it's all like constantly in the psyche, deep, deep, deep in the subconscious psyche, trying to make up for this violence. And trying to live in a world that's based on violence when they're in essence and they're inherently in the truth of who they are as soul spirit, nonviolent. And indigos are often, and starseeds are often very empathic. They just feel, and they feel the collective energy. And so this collective energy is violent. People are in pain on the planet. And so the indigo souls, not only are they fatigued and they're having trouble just living life in the way that, what the basic things that need to happen in life, but then they're also trying to escape from this pain that they feel in the collective energy. And so it's like, how do you bring your light and do what you're here to do when you are crippled by this guilt and pain of the collective consciousness? Feeling, all the indigo souls, most of the ones I worked with, feel personally responsible. Like it's all their fault and it's all up to them to fix the problems of this world. And the ironic thing about that is it's like, it's not one person's job. We can't even do it alone. We're all kind of in this idea, in the coaching, we do a lot around finding your true path and coming into the career, your ideal career, bringing your skills into a package. You can make money and help the world. And we all get kind of caught up in like, well, I need to go do this thing. I have this path, I have this journey. And, again, more and more these days, the message is coming completely clear. It's like, no, it's not your path. We're all in this together. And it's group projects that are really going to change the world. And yet the indigos have all this programming around, okay, so if your light and your soul spirit is bringing in this pure essence of light on the planet, but that's been persecuted and targeted, then the programming says, okay, you need to hide your light. And then, of course, if you had two lights, say you had two indigos come work together, that's way more of a target. So the indigos are really programmed to stay far, far away from each other. And yet we need each other. We can't do it alone. We can't do these projects. We can't save the world, one person. And these people often feel completely isolated. There's nobody around them they can talk to about what's really going on in their psyche. And it is the most damaging place, isolating place to be. Because the healing of this world is through human connection and cooperation. And so the indigo souls are trying to find each other right now and come back together. And a lot of people who are looking for that path and what am I here to do? And I got to go out and do what I'm here to do. It's like, no, you are here to work together with other people. You have one piece, one very important piece of this unique, beautiful set of skills, of the role that you would like to play in this evolution. Your higher self has set out for you. You probably have no idea. Because the thing about the indigo souls is like there's so much programming around hiding who they are and hiding their light. They've hidden it even from themselves. So the indigo souls need to go through a whole, this is a lot of what we do in the coaching and also in the the healing, intuitive healing sessions, is an opportunity for a reincarnation process, a rebirth, soul retrieval, becoming whole and complete in who you are, meeting yourself. So the indigos have only been able to incarnate a fraction of who they are, and they're flailing around in this earth realm. And yet they are the light of the world. They are the second coming of Christ because they are embodying this pure Christ light. They have the ability to embody this pure Christ light and this gift to humanity and this contagious gift of awakening. And so we're in a process of releasing all this programming, coming back into reincarnating who we really are in order to find each other and get to work on these great, amazing projects. So go ahead and let's just go ahead and just feel yourself here in this moment, paying attention to that root chakra, releasing the base of your spine to connect into Mother Earth. Go ahead and receive an energetic wave to reprogram and calibrate and heal and activate this root chakra that is safe to be here in your light on the planet. Not only is it safe, it's the time. It is your time. It is the destiny of spiritual evolution on planet Earth, and that's why you're here. To be who you are, embody your light and your truth, and just feel yourself sinking deeper into Mother Earth. Feel Mother Earth reaching up to hold you, all around you, comforting you and loving you, reminding you that you're safe here this time. And go ahead and search through your being, your DNA, your genetic entity. Go ahead and receive an energetic wave to heal and release and reprogram wherever this belief system might live. Past life contracts, DNA healing, genetic healing is available right now to release anything associated with this belief system that who you are in the true light of your soul as a second coming of the Christ light energy in its pure, true expression is somehow bad, wrong, dangerous, would create violence. This is a complete and total lie. Go ahead and receive your own Christ light healing, this pure white light healing in your life right now to reprogram those places inside of you. Reprogramming the DNA, receiving psychic surgery, healing on any implants, false belief systems in the genetic coding. Just completely release anything that is not in vibrational resonance with this true pure light of your soul. The only reason you worked so hard to go through all of this, this is the only reason the indigos are here. When I look at indigos and we do this reincarnation, there's a clear thing of like, well, you can have this body, go ahead and incarnate on planet Earth. You can have this body where you're not going to be quite equipped to activate into your true light and come into your spiritual evolution. Or you can have this body. It's really sick. It comes with a whole bunch of programming. But, you can, if you overcome all this stuff, maybe you'll be able to activate into your light. And indigos, every time, they don't even want to be here. Starseeds, indigos, they don't even want to be on planet Earth if they don't have the possibility to do what they came here to do, which is embody the light. Living, breathing example of cosmic love. Unfortunately, these indigo souls, because of this deeper, and starseeds, these deeper program, walking around in darkness, in shame about who they are in their light. This is a big, fat lie. And go ahead and receive an energetic wave to completely release all programming in your field, in your DNA, a cellular level that resonates with that lie on any level, and reset to this pure white light, this gift that you are here. It's time to come bring this light home and be the light, the living example of this world, reaching out above all these stories, all this programming, all this darkness. The thing is, it's like, we live in this world of duality, and there's the light and then there's the dark. But outside of that construct of this reality, it's just pure light. And that pure light has no shadow. And just receiving an energetic wave to harmonize this healing, sinking deeper and deeper into Mother Earth, feeling her loving you, accepting you, her deep gratitude that you're willing to be here in a body and be this living example of the pure consciousness, the oneness, the Christ light. Just feel yourself held and loved and honored as you also send your gratitude to Mother Earth for holding you safe and secure. This time, now is the time to release all the karma of all the lifetimes of your human evolution and be the light that you are. No shadow, no punishment, no targeting, no manipulation, just pure light. And see yourself walking into that room and being that living, breathing example of cosmic love. And know in all parts of your whole being, there's no negative and there's no shadow to this light. And feel your higher self, your spiritual commitment you made in coming to this planet, your renewed commitment and excitement about the path that lies ahead. Seeing the earth from afar with all of these lights awakening to the truth that true light has no shadow. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Empowerment Radio, the podcast of empowerment coaching. Empowerment coaching is about getting the support you need astrologically through past life clearings, life visioning, to get on that path to see real results in your life and feel like you're really on that true path. Thank you for joining me. I'm Adrienne Elise. Until next time, namaste.